Welcome to Group Dates and Hot Takes, a Bachelor Nation podcast. I'm Sampy.
And I'm Christy. And we're recapping Michelle's season of The Bachelorette.
We are back for the Hometowns, episode 7. Are you ready to rumble, Christy?
I guess so.
You never know what I'm going to say, do you?
No.
Well, I guess before we jump into things here, what's going on in Bachelor Nation?
There really wasn't much this week. There was just the Clayton announcement, basically, which they finally, officially announced with a promo at the end, which is just kind of strange for the first, official thing we see from ABC, just being, a preview for January, but...
Which I believe I specifically called, didn't I, last week?
Yeah. It's just weird. Normally they do the GMA thing first, but that ended up being the next day where they interview him.
Right, because they were doing commercials for that GMA spot.
Yeah, I just found the bio they chose funny because it reads, following an emotional and tear-stained exit from Michelle's season of The Bachelorette, Clayton Echard will step into the role of The Bachelor for the show's upcoming 26th season, kicking off the series' landmark 20th year. Clayton was first introduced to audiences on the current season of The Bachelorette, where he showed off his rugged good looks and Viking-level athleticism while managing to charm even the harshest of critics, a group of 5th grade students. He is a puppy-loving goofball with a heart of gold and surprisingly good dance moves, who is ready to find the love of his life.
Wow. So they literally just took the only footage we saw of him.
Yeah,
and
basically.
Summarized it. Well, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
I mean, that's really, pulling teeth there.
Hey, don't disrespect Clayton like that.
You couldn't give us anything else, but...
No. Christy. Well, I mean, did you end up watching the GMA thing or seeing highlights from that?
I saw a 2-minute little interview with him. He says he has found love, so...
Boy. Do we believe him? I don't know.
I mean, there's no point in him lying. We'll see what happens, so...
Yeah, but... I mean, I guess there kind of would be a point in lying, though, because if he was like, yeah, actually, it ended really bad, then... I mean, I guess maybe more people would watch at that point. You're right.
Yeah, so...
Huh. Well, I guess we should get to the actual episode. Okay. So, Hometowns Week. Are you as excited for this as I am, Christy?
Yeah, I liked this episode. I always love seeing the families.
Yes, it's quite an exciting time. I mean, we're getting right down to it. Currently, only 4 men left. Soon to be 3.
Yes, sad.
Well, where would you like to start?
Well, we start with a short little talk with Tayshia and Michelle, just, generic speech about this is an important week. You'll see them in their element, all that stuff. And Caitlin enters and informs us Brandon will be going first. So they go to a skateboarding center.
A skate park.
Yeah. Apparently he is from Portland, so I don't know if that's...
There's a huge skateboard culture out there, Christy. I mean, come on.
Well, that was news to me.
Wow. Well, look. I mean, from what he was saying, actually, look, I I know I can be a very critical person about everything and about The Bachelor and about these people sometimes. But honestly, I haven't really seen anything about Brandon that made me be like, I don't like you.
No, that's true. I liked him. He's always very earnest.
Even what he was talking about, how like his brother and parents ended up getting into skateboarding after he did, and then they would skateboard together. Like, that's just a really great thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they seemed to. He and Michelle had a lot of fun falling over, and
even though he clearly had not skateboarded in like 100 years.
I know, it was very funny because he acted like, oh, this is like my thing, and then he keeps falling off the board.
Well, sometimes when you haven't skated in a while, it takes a little bit to shake the rust off,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the daytime portion looked fun.
Unbelievable.
So at night, I guess, it seemed to me like they used the same room/location for all 4 hometowns.
I mean, it's possible because they weren't, of course, actually legitimate hometowns. They were just all in Minneapolis.
Yeah, which I thought they were going to travel since like they were able to travel to Minnesota, but I guess not.
Yeah, I guess it depends how, because do you know if Brandon's, if his family is still in Portland? Like, because that would have been a bit of a hike. Then I literally have no idea where the rest of them are from.
Yeah, I wasn't paying enough attention, but yeah, so his mom, Carmen, dad, David, and brother Noah are here.
Who apparently delayed his enlistment in the military. I'm not sure if he said which branch, but got delayed just so that he could make an appearance on The Bachelorette.
Yeah, see, he has his priorities in order.
Wow, oh boy.
So, Michelle and Noah, his brother is very skeptical because there's still 3 other men, which is a fair point.
Yes, but it's of course it's not a unique thing. Like, there's always like one family member who's like, but if she really liked you, why are there more people here?
Yeah. And when Brandon sits down with his mom, he's like, this is who my person is. So Brandon is very sure about this.
Oh, he is. He's been very sure for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He is like just straight up ready to marry her.
Yeah. Oh, Michelle and his dad talk, and she's very sure that her dad would get along with him very well.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, she's basically like already planning future meetups.
Yes, we'll have all the parents meet together. It will be wonderful. I mean, I guess it's who knows? I mean, well, you probably know, but besides that, who knows where this is gonna go? But theoretically, if you're gonna marry someone, it would be nice to like their family.
They could have like done a twist with hometowns this year and like had Michelle's parents come to these things since they're already in town.
Yeah, well, Christy, ABC doesn't pay attention to you. You know that.
No. unfortunately.
Everyone just note the sadness in Christy's voice right there. No. Yeah. I mean, I think that they would be great together, personally, but that's just me.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know, and perhaps there's some maybe possibly starting to feel some falling for love or something.
Yeah, like at the end, Michelle like even returns it and says she's falling for him as well. So I always pay attention to like the people that the lead says something back to instead of just like a, oh, my heart is racing kind of thing.
Yeah.
So Brandon got that from her.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this kind of plays into just Michelle and who she is at some level too, because I feel like overall she's been pretty stinking genuine, and well, maybe Brandon isn't the most like conventional choice potentially. That she potentially sees something there and is willing to go for it, I think just speaks to her character.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'd be a pretty good match.
And he, as we said, he just straight up wants to marry her.
Yes, he is ready.
Yes, he is. And hopefully he gets that chance, but we'll see.
Yes, we'll see.
Tell us about Rodney.
Yeah, next is Rodney, who, well, he will not get that chance.
No, you can't say that. This is so terrible. I mean, we've all known this is
Yeah.
it will be coming.
Yeah, well, first they go apple picking. I couldn't tell if this was actually true or not, the whole, like, there's an apple that's only grown here that's called First Kiss Apple.
Yeah, so basically it is a thing.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there have been a couple things like that. Essentially, as I understand it, and there's even, it's just like a thing, I guess, that I just learned recently, where universities just like to make new apples.
Oh, yeah, I just Googled it.
Yeah, so there's the one I'd heard about more recently than this one actually was an apple created by some university in, I think, like Washington State. But this apple, yeah, it's just like a hybrid apple.
Yeah,
sort of bred and created at a university in Minnesota.
Yeah, bred to have honey crisp juiciness and a refreshing tartness.
Wow, a refreshing tartness.
I mean, that does sound pretty good.
Yeah, but from what I've understood, and I could be wrong here, but I've heard that apples like this generally don't quite live up to the hype.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
But it could, who am I to say? I haven't actually tasted the apple. But yes, it's so romantic.
Yes. Well.
Yeah.
So,
I just can't help but just have my heart broken watching this whole thing.
I know, it was like so obvious the whole time that it's just not the same with him compared to the other three.
Mm-hmm. Especially when she's meeting with his parents and his mom asks her what traits set him apart.
Yeah.
And she's just like, there's just a level of playfulness
That's when the nail hit the coffin.
Which it's just,
I mean, yeah.
it's unfortunate, right? Because of course, like, at least from my perspective, that's something that you would want in a relationship is playfulness and things like that. But like when you're in an environment like this, where it's much more of a specific thing, the last thing you want to hear is like processing, beep, level of playfulness.
Yeah, I don't know if she said anything else, then they just cut it out. But
I mean, of course she could have, but
yeah, it was like, ooh. I mean, I hope there's more than just playing. But
yeah.
so the mom is very worried that Rodney could end up heartbroken. And also if like this could translate outside of the show into the real world. And Michelle like gives this like super long-winded, like confusing story that basically like, oh, that could be Rodney. But I was not convinced.
I mean, we've all been saying for a little bit now that he is on his way, which is totally just shown by the fact that, you know, afterwards her response to him saying that he's falling in love is to that, like, oh yeah, it's so great to hear where you're at.
Oh. I feel like if you're a contestant at this point, if you've watched the show enough, you should be able to decipher whether you're going home or not based on what the lead tells you, especially at like hometowns.
I mean, I would think so.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him though.
Yeah, even his stepdad was very skeptical when he was like, yeah, she checks off my list of what I'm looking for. I loved all the dads in this episode.
I like dads too.
They were just like the right amount of like skeptical and real.
I mean, I guess we'll. Oh man, I just we can continue, but I'm just remembering. Was it Joe's dad?
Joe's dad was my favorite of the dads.
Yeah. Anyways, we could continue, but
yeah. Did you have anything else for Rodney, or should we move on to Joe?
just some tears. That's all I got.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Rodney. But yes, dun 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 dun, Joe.
Yeah. So they go to his high school, which I feel like this is kind of unfair because this was like an actual hometown.
Right. Yeah.
For Joe.
Because he actually is from Minnesota.
Yeah. So as they're like going around his high school, they go to, quote, his spot.
Oh boy. That makes me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, so it's just essentially just a spot to make out with whoever he's dating.
Mm-hmm. Though he allegedly didn't go to prom still.
Yeah, it's
weird because like if you're making out with people, surely you have somebody to go to prom with.
Yeah, I don't know if like his basketball stuff like conflicted with prom. I mean, I don't know how that works.
I mean, I don't either. Because I've not been to prom.
Same. So Michelle also said she was always picked last for prom, which that must have sucked.
I still don't understand how that happens.
Yeah.
You're the last person picked for prom out of hundreds of people at a high school. I don't understand how that happens. Plus, too, since there are always people who go to prom like as single people, so I don't know. I just don't totally buy it.
Well, to rectify this whole situation,
Oh,
they
yes.
have to recreate prom at the high school.
Oh yeah, gotta do the whole thing.
Yes, we have the dress and the tux, the photo booth, dancing.
Don't forget the props, the silly props, Christy,
Props for what?
for the pictures in the photo booth.
Oh.
You gotta have the little silly things there to take fun pictures. It's part of prom. I've never been, and even I know that.
Oh, like the mustache things?
Yeah.
Or...
Exactly.
Yes, they got the whole experience.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the dancing, the sugary treats. Oh, it's just so amazing. Would you want to go to that kind of prom, Christy?
I don't know. I've never. Anytime I see prom portrayed in a TV show or a movie, it just never looked enticing to me.
That's Christy, everyone. She does not appreciate crowds or parties.
I don't know. It just always looked awkward to me. It's not even the crowd part.
I mean, typically it is supposed to be high schoolers. So high schoolers are generally pretty awkward. You know? Yes, and I mean, I guess maybe the fact that you just absolutely loved your high school experience plays into that as well.
Yeah, I'm not sad I missed it.
Oh, well. Well, you get to live vicariously through Joe and Michelle here.
Yes, and also we had the same thing on Bachelor in Paradise, so I've gotten my fill.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so family time.
Yeah, she's gonna meet Mom Julie, Dad David, brother Dan, and his wife Hannah. So I think the first convo we see is Joe and his dad, and it was just silence, basically. I just loved it so much. And Dad was like, I think Joe asked him, do you have any questions? And Dad's like, nope. He just sat there and nodded his head.
Oh, man. That was very funny. Couldn't get anything out of him.
Nope. He was just there.
I don't know if he didn't want to be there or what exactly was going on, but that was pretty funny.
Yeah, he didn't seem like upset or annoyed or anything. He was just like, I'm cool.
Oh, man. Both of us were cracking up pretty hard over that.
His mom notices how excited Joe is. And there was a convo between Joe, Dan, and Hannah. And Hannah brings up this really good point that, like, they will probably run into each other at the grocery store. So hopefully, like, this actually works. Because that would be kind of awkward if she doesn't pick him.
Yep. And she's like, hey, Michelle. Gotta go.
Like, what do you even say?
I don't know. I guess for their sake, hopefully it's Joe.
Yeah, Joe does say he is ready to propose as well. So.
Oh boy. Yeah. He's just really trying to open up more. Just trying to be vulnerable.
Yep, he does say he is falling in love with her.
Oh boy. And what was her response?
Actually, I don't remember what she said. If she said anything back.
Hopefully it wasn't. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah, I don't think after what happened with Matt, she would bring that out.
Oh man, apologies for going there, but that will never not be funny to me.
I know. He just said it so many times.
Well, anyways, back to Nate. Your favorite, but not my favorite.
They go paddle boarding.
Oh yeah.
And I love how, like, this is supposed to be this spontaneous thing. Like, Nate's like, oh, I'm going to show you, like, something I love to do. But Michelle just happens to have a bathing suit on underneath her clothes.
Highly suspicious.
Just funny how that works.
Or is that just that now, in this current day of 2021, that women's bathing suits are basically just underwear?
No, there is a distinction. Like, the material is different.
Okay. I will defer to your fabric experience. But no, Chrissy, it was definitely spontaneous.
Oh, totally. No pre-planning at all.
I mean, it was as spontaneous as her parents coming home when she was at their house with Brandon. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Nate informs her she'll be meeting his mom and stepdad. Mm-hmm. So he also admits here he is head over heels for her, falling for her. So she'll be the first person to meet his family that he's brought home. A lot of pressure.
It's a little strange to me. But here we are.
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of puzzled by that too.
Well, this was just a continuation of what he was talking about last episode, right? Where he just, like, his family never talked about stuff at all, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if, like, he moved out pretty soon after high school, and so he just never brought people home, or what the deal was.
I got the impression that, like, his parents just didn't want to deal with it or something. Or maybe his stepdad or something. I'm not positive, but yeah. So, are they? He's Canadian, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's because his mom, like, brought Michelle all this Canadian candy for Michelle's students. So I was like,
yeah. Apparently, it's like some special candy that all their students will love.
Yeah, pshaw. I mean, unless it's like straight 100% like concentrated maple candies. But I guess if it is that, then yeah, they probably will love her.
Yeah.
It'll just be awkward when Nate gets sent home next week. Like, I spent $19.99 at the airport for these candies, and you can't have the decency to stick around till the end? You just get eliminated? Ugh.
Well, maybe the candy was to make sure that doesn't happen.
Oh, man. A bribe. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, it could be. You never know. Yeah, so what did you think about Michelle's interaction with his family?
Well, I thought his mom had some good points, like not wanting him to feel pressure to get engaged or not wanting him to get, like, swept up in the process. He just proposes because that's what you do on the show.
I mean, that kind of is the point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a little bit too logical for this show.
Yeah, I kind of thought his family was pretty protective, or just like worried.
Yeah, because even when he talked with his mom, he was like saying, I'm not ready to propose right now, but hopefully I'll get there by the end.
Ugh.
Then Michelle talks with his stepdad, and the stepdad is like, he doesn't know if Nate has ever been in love before, doesn't know if he'll be ready to propose at the end. So yeah, there's a lot of skepticism.
Oh boy, will he be able to overcome? Tune in next week to find out.
And there's always somebody each season who we're worried they won't get there.
Look, and I mean, I don't disagree with that necessarily. You know, I feel like there's been enough stuff over the season that kind of points to that maybe being the case. But maybe I'm just skeptical too.
Yeah, when he finally talks with his stepdad, his stepdad asks, "How do you know if this is real? Like, is this sustainable?" Which is a good point too.
That doesn't matter, Christy. This is the Bachelorette, okay? They just have to make it like 2 months.
Oh no. What did you think of the convo he had with his stepdad after that, where they start talking about like love and upbringing and all that?
I mean, I was like, how dare you have this conversation on TV? Do it on your own time. No, I'm kidding. Well, okay, no, I'm not really kidding. But not from that perspective, but more from, again, it's like that perspective where I kept harping on for like Matt and in other circumstances where it's just like, I'm very glad this conversation is happening, but like, and maybe like, I guess it's a good thing that this process prompted this to happen, but at the same time it's like, I don't want to see that because I've been in a position of vulnerability a lot in my life, and like that's the sort of thing that you want to have, like the complete freedom and privacy to like actually say everything that needs to be said versus just kind of saying the stuff but maybe more on a surface level because you can't really get that deep into it because you're on national television.
Yeah, it almost felt like something we shouldn't be watching. Like, it was very personal to them. At least for them, they didn't have the same level of like toxicity that Matt and his dad had, but it was
right,
still
and,
like, yeah.
And maybe this is a positive thing that encourages them to have more additional conversations down the road. In that case, you know, it's a good thing. But yeah, I think maybe we're a bit too normal or empathetic, perhaps, to like see that and not have a negative reaction from the perspective of you should be able to have the privacy to do this, like, and not have us watch it.
Yeah. It's like producers are kind of exploiting it a little bit.
They would never, Christy. How dare you? How dare you impugn the good name of the wonderful producers of my favorite television network, ABC.
Wow. You're riding hard for them.
Hey, look, they provide me with so much joy, okay? So I can't turn on them like you have.
Wow.
Mhm. Which, of course, this whole entire thing makes Michelle be like, is Nate really actually ready?
Yep. She starts spiraling a little bit. Doesn't know who to send home.
Dun, dun, dun.
And then, like, for some reason, Bree and Serena show up at her hotel room.
in her time of need.
To give some advice, I suppose.
Look, she needed some bolstering, okay?
I mean, I'm sure it's great to see friends. I don't know how much advice they can really give since they don't know the guys at all.
Wow. How dare you be so negative?
I mean, what words of wisdom did they have?
I don't remember anything that happened. I just remember them showing up the door and being like, "Who are those people?"
Oh.
and then I was like, "Wait, I guess that's Serena."
Yeah. This would have been filmed after she and Joe got engaged in Paradise, I think.
It just took me a sec.
Yeah. Well, Brie, you hadn't seen in a while.
Right, yeah. But, I mean, I should have known Serena P, even though her hair was different. So.
Yeah, she had straightened it.
Unbelievable. Yeah, so. I guess going into the rose ceremony, I mean, there isn't really a whole lot to talk about here. Besides the fact that, I don't know, I had a slight glimmer of hope. I don't know if you felt similarly, but I had just the slightest glimmer of hope where I was like, maybe Nate got sabotaged just enough, and Michelle's confidence in him and his readiness to fulfill the process, maybe that's been shaken just enough to let Rodney sneak into fantasy suite time. But no, they just killed that right off the bat. Literally the first one, Nate. And at that moment,
wait, did he get the first rose?
Yeah.
Oh. Well.
Unless I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they've just shown, based on what we've seen over the rest of the season, they've shown so much of Nate. He just wasn't going to go.
I just held out hope for my boy Rodney, you know?
Yeah. She walks him out to another bench. I love how there's just always a bench.
Yeah, look, there are a lot of bench-based activities in this show, okay? You gotta have enough benches. I mean, come on. Yeah, I mean, she did spend quite a lot of time here with Rodney.
Mm-hmm, like reassuring him that he's enough. There's nothing wrong with him.
You're enough. And there's nothing wrong with you, but I just don't like you. You know?
Yeah, she's very, very diplomatic.
Of course, you know, the other relationships just progressed faster, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's such a funny thing to say to me. Like,
only in Bachelor world.
Other relationships just moved more quickly.
Such a strange show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And poor Rodney, because he is falling in love, and getting sent home won't change anything.
No, I'm sure he'll show up in Paradise next year.
Oh boy. I forgot that we were going to have to watch that again. It's not just a one-time thing. Hopes dashed on the rocks of reality. Yeah, so I guess we have our top 3.
Yep, who do you think will win?
Man. This is a tough one. And at this point, I think it's probably between Brandon and Joe.
Okay.
In my opinion. I feel like I feel like she's kind of had more of a, like, I don't know, whenever I see her and Brandon together, it seems like it's kind of like the relationship she had, like sort of the fun-loving portion of the relationship she had with Rodney, plus like the extra enthusiasm and connection that she shared with someone like Nate or Joe. And so I do think that makes him a pretty strong contender. I mean, I wouldn't discount Nate just yet, but I don't know. I feel like it's maybe between Brandon and Joe. I think that Joe, I don't know. I think for Brandon it's going to be difficult to surpass like the Minnesota basketball connection.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a pretty close race at this point. Should be a good finale. I mean, next week we have the Men Tell All,
of course. Get to see our favorite buttholes back in action.
Yeah, it's still weird to me that they have now flip-flopped, because usually Fantasy Suites would be next week. But
unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're not really, like, it's not like a whole lot of stuff happens on, like, during Men Tell All anyways, but...
No, just dredging up old drama.
A lot of old footage. There won't be many kisses for me to count, because I'll have to be making sure, you know, I'm like, oh, we saw that footage already. Can't count that one.
I mean, you can pretty much take the week off.
Oh, wow, I don't have to show up next week?
I mean, in terms of counting.
Oh, dang it. Okay, fine. I'll still show up mentally. Well, we already talked about Clayton.
Yeah, this is where they aired the promo.
Kind of boring, if I'm not lying.
Yeah, they like... Did we talk about the fact that they stole Rodney's tagline?
No. We did not.
Because it says everyone loves an underdog on his poster, which is what Rodney talked about for himself.
Oh, no. That is cruel.
I know, like, Gabe actually fixed the poster and put Rodney's face on top. It looks much better.
Our good friend Gabe.
Yes, it looks great.
I just don't really see the appeal of Clayton as Bachelor, to be honest with you.
I mean, he looks like a bachelor, so he's got that going for him.
Ugh. Unbelievable.
It just seems like they could have picked somebody from this top 3 or top 4 whoever doesn't get chosen, but
no, Christy, there weren't any white people in the top 4.
Well, that is true.
Try not to get too deep into the racial weeds.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will still enjoy watching it, no matter who the Bachelor is.
I will still be there by your side. I will not promise enjoyment, though. Only time will tell.
Hopefully it's a good season.
Starting, like, immediately after this.
Yeah, January 3rd.
Do we even get, like, a Christmas break?
There is a 1 or 2 week break.
Okay.
I think it ends just before Christmas. Let me look at the calendar real quick.
Because if I don't get Christmas off, I'm going to flip out.
I think it finishes on the 21st. So then you would have the following week with no episode, but then the week after that, it's back.
Get a life, ABC. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, did you want to talk about the end tag at all before we moved on to greener pastures?
I mean, it was kind of cheesy. They're Rodney and Michelle like filming a fake cooking show intro. I don't know, that pretty much just summed up their relationship right there.
Oh no.
Just a lot of joking around.
Yeah, well, you gotta have the joking around, but you gotta have deep stuff too. It's just, it is what it is. Well, dun dun dun, for episode 7, Hometowns, we had 31 kisses.
Whoa. That's a lot.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, you know, getting down to the end, gotta boost those numbers, you know?
Yeah. We didn't even talk about the fact that when she said goodbye to Brandon on their date, like, it was quite an aggressive makeout.
Yeah, like, I mean, I've mentioned before how, like, terrifying that is to watch.
I know, and they, like, zoomed in real far, too.
I hate that. Oh.
Oh.
I don't need to see those lips in high def. Oh. That is terrifying.
Just a bit.
Like, so aggressive.
Very uncomfortable.
Thank you for bringing that up. I'm so glad that I got to remember that after I had gladly forgotten it for a couple days.
Glad I could help.
Keep this up. I might have to replace you as my co-host here. Somebody who's not going to destroy my mental peace.
My apologies.
Well, as your penance, how can people get in touch with us?
You can email us at groupdatespod@gmail.com or follow us on Instagram.
We love engagement. You could even message us on Instagram, as long as you're not a bot.
Yes.
Telling us that we should promote through some blah 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 fake service trying to get our information.
Yeah, no, we don't want that. We want real engagement.
Like our best friend in the entire world, Gabe.
Yes, that's some quality engagement there.
Yes. That's right. We have lots of love for our listeners, but especially Gabe. So faithful. Faithful friend, faithful listener. Well, I'm so sad. Ronnie didn't make it, but I guess we'll see what terrible things are dredged up next week on The Men Tell All. This has been Group Dates and Hot Takes, a Bachelor Nation podcast. I'm Sampy.
And I'm Christy. We'll talk to you next week.